Hi, it's Jack.enright from the Jack.enright team at William Raveis Real Estate. We have a little special segment today with my friend Bob Flynn from William Raveis Mortgage. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Jack.
Probably a lot of you don't realize that the laws changed for the mortgage business as of October 3rd. And I asked Bob to talk briefly on these changes and how it affects not only buyers but sellers. So Bob, if you could just tell us a little bit about what's going on with the changes, that would be great.
So the third and final part of the government's revamping of the mortgage industry and disclosures has taken place on October 3rd, and it was called TRID, and it stands for Truth in Lending Disclosures. And one of the biggest changes is they're done away with the old HUD-1 settlement and good faith estimate and truth in lending and APRs, and they've simplified it for us, Jack.
Yeah, and that was confusing for a lot of people with seeing what they were going to be paying over the years and all the different documents that they had to pull through.
Absolutely correct. So one of the things that the government wanted, and rightly so, is the transactions to be seamless and transparent. So they've started with a new document called the LE Loan Estimate, which is given at initial application, and finalized with something called the CD, closing document. It's all put in simple layman's terms that the client can read and compare, and there can't be any changes or we're responsible as a mortgage lender for paying the differences.
Right, and talk a little bit about, like, the banks aren't really doing the pre-approvals, they're doing what they call a pre-qualification, which was what we had years ago, and I know that you're doing complete opposite.
That's correct. So a lot of the banks, because of the fact that the CFPB is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, is come up with some finite guidelines on what constitutes an actual application. The banks have pulled that completely. And they are only offering pre-quals, which is really a credit check and verbal information from borrowers, back to the dark ages essentially. What we have done at Raveis is we've taken a step further, and we're doing credit checks, we're doing automated underwriting through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and we as loan officers are reviewing customers' full documents, tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, so they can be assured that there's not going to be a closing roadblock.
Yeah, and it's so important now for a consumer buyer especially to have the right team between the broker, the mortgage person, and the closing attorney.
Absolutely, and due to the new rules and regulations, we need to be working together seamlessly in order to make sure that we are not holding up loan closings so there's a domino effect and that other closing and the other one on top of that are not affected negatively.
Right. So again, it affects you as the buyer, but it also affects you as the seller, because if you get an offer that has just this so-called pre-qualification, there's chances that the deal could fall apart. With what Bob offers, it's pretty solid, and you know, you can see that he's done his homework. Thanks, Bob.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jack.
Appreciate the time, and as always, have a great day.